Hey, I'm Randy Couture. On November 16th, we have the 9th annual Operation Knockout in partnership with Tough Enough, amateur mixed martial arts fights and some grappling matchups. And the proceeds from this event go directly to the Extreme Couture G.I Foundation, which is a 501c3 that I've been running for wounded veterans for the last 10 years. So excited to have our 9th annual Operation Knockout. It's become one of my most favorite events that we do all year. This year's event is over at Sam's Town on the Boulder Highway over in East Las Vegas. It should be a great night. A bunch of great fights. Fighters really step up and put it on the line for our veterans.
Talk about, why you started it and what it means to you and what you've accomplished, obviously, going into this 10th year.
I started the Extreme Couture GI Foundation 10 years ago. A lot of people don't know that I wore the uniform in the United States Army from 1982 to 1988. So certainly since 9/11, a lot of our soldiers putting it on the line, making pretty significant sacrifices, getting wounded in that transition process while they're in the hospital, getting fitted for prosthetics and going through surgeries. They dig a pretty deep financial hole. And so we set about trying to raise some funds and awareness for what these guys go through while they're in transition and take some of that financial pressure off of them. The Operation Knockout events have become one of our biggest fundraisers during out the year. Every January I go to the hospital in Washington, D.C., in Bethesda and Walter Reed, and whatever money we raise, we give away to families that are in that transition process. 100% of whatever we raise on the 16th of November will go into the hands of a soldier and his family.
And of course, on top of doing all that and financial backing, I know the guys are always in here getting a sweat, releasing some stress as well.
Yeah, every Friday we have the MVP program, which is merging vets and players, and we've got between 20 and 40 vets that show up every Friday to get a workout in and then to spend some time just peer-on-peer counseling, helping each other, leaning on each other, being reconnected to brothers in arms, guys that took that oath or wore that uniform.
Talk about what else is going on with you, and I know you're always out and about, and movies and appearances and all sorts of stuff. But what else has been new?
Been traveling a lot. Some with the PFL. Been doing some commentary for the PFL. Some with acting, chasing acting jobs. I've got one on demand right now called The Row. Getting ready to and waiting for dates on a new one called Jiu-Jitsu coming up. So 2 in post-production, Alpha Code and The Hardware coming out both in theaters and on Netflix here in the next couple months. So been busy.
With you as one of the pioneers of this sport, how do you feel about the state of the sport right now? Obviously, we do have some cool promotions, PFL, and doing some different things, but we've got some drama, obviously, with the UFC and everything that's been going on there. What are your thoughts on the state of everything at the moment?
Well, I think the sport continues to flourish. Obviously, the PFL coming on board is another American place for fighters to ply their wares, to be a professional fighter. It's been pretty fun to be involved with that and see that unfold, the tournament format and the regular season and all that's a little bit different take on the sport of mixed martial arts. I thought that the whole thing with the Conor Khabib fight was a bit of an issue. It shows kind of how far off track I think we've gotten with our sportsmanship and some of the things that we reward as athletes and as promoters of the sport of mixed martial arts. So I think we kind of need to get back to that martial arts root, the respect for each other and that camaraderie that we share to grow this sport to where it is now.
Yeah, I mean, you were a guy who never had to kind of do that. You never had to, cross those lines or promote fights. You just did it, kind of spoke with your fighting. And do you obviously feel then that that's not a necessity to sell the fights? We see more and more guys thinking they want to go that route.
Well, I mean, we're seeing guys that want to talk smack to try and market themselves or market a fight. And the problem with that is you run down your opponent that way and then you lose that fight. Where does that leave you? It was certainly never my style. It's not something I appreciated. I think you let your fighting in the cage to do the talking, and the rest of it's not necessary in my opinion.
Did you ever have like a grudge match at all, really, in your career?
No.
That was really like at all, even nothing at all, ever at all?
No. No, I always took the position that I had to respect my opponents. They were going to force me to train and study and learn things that otherwise I wouldn't have learned. And I think for that, I was appreciative, and the opportunity to test myself, to find a way to solve that problem of that guy that's standing across the cage. That's what mixed martial arts is all about.
How is it coming back to this gym, seeing some of the old faces who obviously look up to you, and new faces as well that do and are on their path, you know, trying to make their way in this sport?
You know, it's always good to be here, to be home at Extreme Couture, and you know, the team here, my son, everybody else that's in here, all you know, aspiring in different levels in mixed martial arts, and we try to create a great environment for those fighters to flourish here in this gym. So proud of this place, proud of Eric and Dennis and Ryan for all they put together and the team atmosphere that they've created.
What do you make of DC becoming a two-division champion, obviously coming up on his first title defense at heavyweight on short notice here, and you know, a guy who did what you did a little bit there?
Well, I'm a big fan of DC. Obviously, we went to Oklahoma State. We bleed black and orange if you cut us. He's a cowboy through and through, and he's done an amazing job with his fighting career, and look forward to seeing him out there again soon. We're very happy to be in cahoots, if you will, with Tough Enough. They do a great job of putting together the amateur fights, and that's a very difficult thing to do, and happy that they've dedicated their time and energy and one of their shows to benefiting the Extreme Couture G.I Foundation on November 16th at Sam's Town over in East Las Vegas off the Boulder Highway. You can come to Extreme Couture and find tickets. I think you can go to Sam's Town and find tickets there as well. We have sponsorship packages if you want to support the Extreme Couture G.I Foundation. Go to xcgif.org and get involved and help us out.